You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, this is exactly the kind of thing we've been talking about for a long time. Ever since Alana McLaughlin showed up, the biological male that was a former Army Ranger competing in MMA, Fallon Fox, who bragged about breaking a woman's skull in an MMA competition. We've talked about the fact that, look, Will Thomas competing against women in swimming, well, that's obviously competitive advantage for all kinds of reasons, and that applies to all these sports, whether it's weightlifting, whatever it is. But eventually one of these girls, one of these women, are going to get Ivan Drago'd, like Ivan did, of course, Apollo Creed in Rocky IV. Well, a video has come out of a young lady, she's 135 pounds, having to compete in an open division in Jiu Jitsu against a 200-pound man. Now, you can tell she's got some all-world skill because she beats the guy. But it feels like it's going to go very badly in this, and evidently she was very concerned about having to go into this fight. How in the world there's actually wokes on the left that have called her transphobic for beating this guy? They're on the side of a 200-pound man. What is wrong with you people? For real. It should be appalling. By the way, this guy who goes by the name of Alex, and his name is like James McPike, he is getting destroyed by sports fans that want, a legitimate fairness and safety in women's sports. This is absolutely nuts. And guys, don't worry, we'll watch the video. I mean, it's pretty amazing that she was able to get out of this. This was set up based on like a gold, silver, bronze medal situation, and this man still took home the silver. So he dominated other females, and he's a big damn dude. So this is Breitbart. A female Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu contestant is taking heat for posting a video of her recent match in California against a male-born transgender, quote, woman. Stop it. California athlete Taylor Moore faced the transgender opponent on September 9th and posted the video to her Instagram with a caption, "I weighed in at 135. He is over 200. The video shows her opponent James McPike, 29, who recently began going by the name Alice, God, seeming to easily throw more around the mats, Redux reported. Okay, so let's watch this. Look how big this dude is. The guy's in the gray, in case you even needed to know that. Look how monstrous this guy is. It's crazy how unfair this looks. I got to tell you guys, she flat used speed. She flat used speed to get around on this guy. And this Nancy boy ended up tapping out to this female. But guys, this could have obviously went really badly. And there he is. He taps. Wow. Look how big this dude is. Versus her, 200, 135. How in the world this guy can look himself in the mirror and get in on the mat with a female like this is beyond me. I've never understood any of this. While McPike did end up losing to the more experienced Moore, he still ended up taking the silver medal home from the NAGA Grappling Championship when he beat another female. Moore's coach, Jimmy Witt, is defending Moore against charges of transphobia by left-wingers who have flooded her social media to attack her. Quote, I have a student who went against a trans athlete in an open weight division for Jiu Jitsu grappling, a combat sport, Witt said. I'm sure a lot of people hearing this are thinking that my student lost. No, she won. But I have a really big issue at hand, and this is a very serious topic. In Jiu Jitsu, we don't drug test. You can take steroids. Everyone knows this. It is what it is. When you step on these mats, you waive your rights to your life. And I had to gaslight my student. In other words, he had to piss her off. Witt added that Moore was very put off when she first saw how much bigger McPike was and was worried she would easily lose to him. Coach Witt blasted those who called Moore transphobic. I cannot imagine that people are attacking this little 135-year-old woman for having to take on this Neanderthal. This is my problem. When she goes online and posts about her experience, now she's a bigot and she's outing this trans athlete. Where do we draw the line? So now women can't talk about their experiences in a combat sport, Witt wrote. Witt also warned that McPike's size and weight advantage was a safety risk for Moore. Quote, my student could have been severely injured by an untested athlete and gave up a solid 50 pounds. Now you're telling me women can't express their experience if that experience conflicts with other individuals? Why is it only okay for women to complain when they lose, but they have to shut up if they win? On the other hand, McPike's trainers blasted Witt and Moore for their post. Quote, are you saying trans athletes shouldn't compete against cis athletes? Yeah, I'm saying it. If so, say it. We disagree. Your student showed superior technique and looked slick as all heck against ours. And that's why she got the well-deserved win. Martial Arts School Foundation Chicago, where McPike trains, wrote, beating a much larger trans athlete in short order demonstrates quite well that there is no crazy advantage for trans women against cis women. What a joke. Say things with your whole chest, don't mealy mouth, and then discussions can happen. Congrats on being a great coach and on your student doing so well, super impressive. The North American Grappling Association does not require natural-born females to compete against transgender opponents. NAGA does not require biological women to compete against transgender women. Instead, we give the choice to the biological women. If they decline, they compete in a division only with biological women. Wow, that's crazy. So as you can imagine, Icons posted this, which is, of course, trying to fight for the safety of women's sports. And people are just dragging this guy. But they're making a great point in the comment section here. At some point, women have all got to, in unison, boycott these events and quit competing against these biological men. And just point of fact, make a statement. If you guys are at an NC2A event or whatever kind of event it is, if 20 women walk off and refuse to compete when that sucker is on the Olympics or on NBC or whatever in Olympic trials or in NC2A championship competitions, then you're going to send a real message. You've got to refuse to compete against these biological men. And, by the way, when you step in the ballot box and you see that D, you need to act like that D is a combination of the AIDS and COVID mixed together and stay the hell away from Democratic voting. Plain and simple. Yeah, I said that just like that. It's all fun and games until a neck gets snapped or a woman gets killed. These men are domestic violence criminals at the hands of these studios that allow it. I would sue. I think there's something wrong with these dudes that are wanting to compete against women. It bothers me. It does. I don't know how you can possibly take pride in this. You have none. You can tell, even from what these men in woman face say, that they are in the sport strictly for their own feelings and urges. The thought of ever considering fairness or safety to others has never actually crossed their mind. And this is, quote, brave. This person says, well said. Wow. Laugh out loud. Keep punching that D on the ballot, ladies. That's exactly what I just said. Yeah, you got to vote in the other direction. It is not fair what is happening. So how can a man with a greater body mass than women compete in women's sports, and on the other hand, he is a failure in men's competition? That's about a lot of this that's going on right now, is the fact that these guys aren't cutting it against males, so they're competing against females. Assault and abuse, this must stop, in caps. And this is where I'm going to end with the some of the outrage. Female athletes need to come together on this. Refuse to compete with these blokes and take your sport back, or all of your hard work is literally for nothing. I agree. I could not agree more. Women have got to quit competing. I mean, you're going to have to go out there, and when you realize there's a biological man in one of your divisions, every woman that is got to compete has got to get up and walk off. I mean, this girl obviously had a ton of skill, and I actually find it hilarious that she actually beat that dude. But let's be honest, it almost never happens that way. Almost never happens that way. The women are getting physically dominated out there. And in a sport like this, think about one of those headlocks and all that strength. At what point does a neck snap? And it's going to go really badly then. Is it going to take that, unfortunately? Because it seems like there's a section of women out there that aren't getting it. And if you compete in one of these sports, are you going to be the one that gets hurt? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.